We are live 5 seconds into the video. Yeah, it's jumped us like a million seconds into the future. So, if you're an alien and listening to this, hi, I'm the Model Maniac, and we're going to hit outright this week. Also, we haven't hit a single outright this year, so we don't even really know what we're talking about. But it is what it is. Welcome to Back 9 Bets. The live ticker is just firing away. So before that gets to 5 minutes, rotoballer.com. Go check yourself out at rotoballer.com premium package now. Why, do you ask? Well, my main man, T of Sports, like I've been promising the whole time, hit Wyndham Clark last week at 100 to 1. And that's an outright. That's not his thing, but he's still hitting outrights while bread and buttering his way to unitage after unitage after unitage. Week in, week out, grinding away on profits with matchups, placements, and everything that he does so magnificently over there. So go check it out today. Rotoballer.com is the place to be. Super affordable. Use code MANIAC for 10% off. It gets you the full year. So till next year's US Open, you'll get a full year's worth of subscription. Grab yourself one today. Use code MANIAC over there. Joe Nicey's out there putting out wonderful course for the horse for the course articles, and the core 4 that's been crushing. The guy's just a freak show. We've got a superstar studded lineup over there at rotoballer.com. And as you can see, I've got my Jets, This Team Makes Me Drink shirt on, just because it's got like a little bit of a sentiment and reminiscence and reminder that there are things out there, folks. Even when you are in the deepest, darkest parts of your life, in the gambling world, I'm in a very good spot right now when it comes to life. When it comes to gambling and betting and trying to hit a goddamn winner, not so hot. Not so hot. However, we're doing our thing again where we're starting to smash placements, matchups, all that jazz. Anybody that's called Justin Rose has been costing us a lot of money lately, though. Justin Rose was in 2 matchups, half-hour matchups last week. Just back 9 blowout. Proud recipient of the back 9 blowout. We're also standing. I don't know if you've noticed that. If you are a regular returner to the show, we're standing. I can move wherever I want because we're going to change things up a little bit. Get a little more movement, a little more action, a little more pizzazz to the show. I don't know. I've heard there's been some StreamYard issues, so I'm going to pull up my YouTube channel and watch myself because that's fun to do, just so that in case there are any sort of situations there, I go dancing in the background in the past. So we've got that going on there. If you have any comments or concerns, feel free to send them in. We're going to have ourselves an absolute day. It's a Travelers Championship. We've got outright bets. And it's also going to be one of those weeks. I just got done with one of my favorite weekends of my life where I just watched my best friend get married. So it's been a busy weekend. We were busy as heck through yesterday. So I've done very little research. So this is going to be like kind of like a mini Breaking 100 article, along with just trying to find, I've got 3 outrights, but we've got a lot of space still to go before we can fill up our card. And it's going to be a weird show. I have no idea where it's going. I've got some placements that we're going to have to sift through. We've got a few matchups, and we're going to find some outrights together today. We don't typically do that, but that's how it's going to go because I've been a busy boy. So that's what's cooking here. Let us, friends, family fans, pull up a little bit of what we can expect this week. What can we expect at this kind of a golf course? This wonderful place, TPC River Highlands, is a par 70, less than 7,000 yards. It's like 6,800 yards. It's a tiny little shrimpy course. It's a course that requires accuracy off the tee, 9% more important than tour average. We've got strokes gained approach not meaning that much this week, 5% less. That's not typically what you see, but we'll get to some. I still got approach important because if you're not able to hit some key clubs in there, you're going to struggle. Around the green, just a basic, normal 0% more important, but still just doing its thing. And then strokes gained putting, kind of just the same thing, minus 1% less than tour average. But when it gets to this golf course, this is one of the craziest golf courses we've seen because the proximity numbers that we're going to witness at this venue. We've got 45% of these proximities coming from 125 to 175, which is going to be what I'm going to be calling the go zone. I'm not going to be saying 125 to 175 every single time. So we're just going to say the go zone. Is that going to be that yardage, particularly the 150 to 175? So that's just putting that out there. While we go through these guys, the go zone, 150 to 175, we'll figure it out. The settings for this week, let's dive into the settings real quick. We're going, as always, 100% for 2023 stats, a little bit of history. Course history is kind of important here. You want to make sure that it correlates well, and it does at this venue. The prediction for success at this course is kind of high. Then you want to do some recent form, last 24 rounds, and then you just got a whole bunch of 78%, 77.5%. That history is actually 12.5. Strokes gained approach, recent, last 24, 5%. Then we've got that proximity, the go zone, 10% from the go zone, 6% from 125 to 150, and 4% from 150. It should be the other way around. I don't know what I'm doing. Thank God we are actually doing this live so we can fix this all on the fly and show you what a disaster my brain has been. So we're going to keep scrolling there, and then we've got some good shots because this is going to be an easy golf course. So as you can see, it says 5% for easy scoring conditions. That means anything under minus 115 or better for the top 5 guys in the field makes it easy. We should expect that this week. I think minus 19 pretty much won the damn thing last year. So good shots. You don't want to avoid bad shots. You want to hit a lot of good shots. And strokes gained is also important. So that's our two kind of variables that we're using for our weighted tee to green, our weighted approach stuff. Putting, we've got about 15% putting. Putting on the last 24 rounds, 5%. Strokes gained putting this season, 6%. And then 4% for 5 to 15 feet this year. And then we've got some birdie percentages for 15%. Only 2 par 5, so that's only 5. And then we've got some off the tee. Kind of important. If you go back to this key stats here, off the tee is 3% more important because of the accuracy thing. Now, accuracy can be misguided because Rory McIlroy, we'll see. You know, we've got 5% accuracy in here. Rory McIlroy is one of the most inaccurate drivers of the golf ball in the world, but he is arguably the best driver of the golf ball in the world. So you don't want to penalize someone that severely. So we're rolling with 5% accuracy, 5% for strokes gained off the tee in general, and then 10% for strokes gained off the tee on shorter golf courses, less than 7,200 yards. That way we can get Rory kind of in the mix. But, friends, freaking Rory, we've got all sorts of stuff going on here. All sorts of stuff going on here. Rory is doing us some tough stuff. His terrible start to the season has really left him like kind of way down the model here. We've really struggled to get him up. I'm about to sneeze. I'm still not able to sneeze, so this is going to be a fun little few seconds here for this pod. But we've got Rory sitting all the way down in 6th place. And I've had to actually manually model maniac adjust that thing because he was sitting in like 12th. Because if we're looking for some serious strokes gained, like a Ryan Moore winning this thing by 11 strokes, according to my main man Sia, I like that. That's a frisky statement there from my main man. But I don't know about that, Sia. We like Ryan Moore on these kind of tracks, don't we? He's just doing his thing, casually just plodding along, and then these freaking proximities for Mr. Moore aren't the worst in the world. So we'll dump in there. But look at old Rory. In 2023, he is only 38th in birdie or better percentage this year. Like this season has been really poor for him. It's like kind of disgusting, but his last 3 starts have been great. So that's kind of what you're getting from old Rory this year. He's just a conundrum of absolute confusion, and it's frustrating because if you're looking from a long-term perspective, he's done nothing. If you're looking from a very short-term perspective, the guy's almost won 2 majors this year, kind of thing. So barely got there. Poor Wyndham Clark just kicked his ass. Just couldn't quite get over the hump. So we'll see. But as you were mentioning, yeah, Rory, 150th in driving accuracy. Don't want to punish him too much for that. So as you can see on shorter golf courses, 11th still. So that's kind of what we're talking about with that. Where's Ryan Moore? Where the hell is Ryan Moore? Ryan Moore. All the way. That's Taylor Moore. We got a Taylor Moore before we got a Ryan Moore. Ryan Moore, $6,200 Ryan Moore, Sia. Accuracy off the tee, weighted proximity numbers through the roof, some solid bent grass stats. Now, these are actually power stats, friends, so we're going to change that quickly because this is what we are up to on this stupid. We've already done this somewhere else. So, power stats have been changed. Those are correct. The labels were just wrong. Also, I don't even know if these are power or bent. We don't even recognize it's a mixture of both, so we don't have any actual bent grass stats in here. We're just rolling with putting on all surfaces. If you're a good putter, we're rocking and rolling with you. So, without further ado, we're going to get rid of one more column here so we can just tidy this thing up. I hate it when I have leftover space on the end of the screen. There we go. We don't need bogey avoidance even because we don't care about bogey avoidance this week. We need to get to minus 20, make your birdies. All right, so Jon Rahm, first in the model. This is what he's up to. Hasn't necessarily played that well around here. Hasn't necessarily played well on other courses like this. But what we like about Rahm is the fact that he is a birdie monster. Leads the field in birdie percentages this season. He plays easy golf courses very well. Leads the field in easy golf course scoring. So bang, bang, bang. We've got Jon Rahm sitting at 10, 8, 16-ish%. That's what he gets up to. Recent approach plays been baller. He's around the green play, been a little suspect, but the putting has kind of made its return back. Also, look at this. Accuracy for Jon Rahm. Kind of disgusting lately. He hasn't been doing his thing. Also, I know, Sia. I know. It's obviously ending in a... Oh, my God, dude. You make me laugh sometimes, Azalea. I tell you, it's obviously ending. And that would be also, you know what? An Eckert-Henley playoff, Sia. I was just looking at Russell Henley's stuff. He's been balling out, man. But if you mean a playoff by like just guaranteeing a top 20, that's probably most likely. But I don't know. Old Henley to ever win a tournament again outside of Mayakoba? I'm not too sure. We'll see. It takes a lot of right things to happen for Russell Henley to win a tournament. And I don't know with this many good golfers in the field, that is what's going to happen this week, even though Eckroat has been doing some wonderful things. So let's keep scooting. Jon Rahm. I like him this week. I know he's had some issues with his wedges in the past, but from 150 to 175, that's a lot better than that 125 to 150 range, which is his kind of bugaboo. So we'll see what he can get up to. The accuracy, not that big of a deal. Obviously, he crushes on these short golf courses, hitting those 3 woods, 3 irons, whatever you know, off the tee, right where he wants them to be. So we like old Rahm this week. Can't get him. I don't know if I want to bet him at 12 or whatever he is to 1 to win this damn thing. Jon Rahm is 12 to 1. I don't know. Jon Rahm to win a birdie fest, just he's mentioned it himself. Like he doesn't like them, but we don't mind him at 10-8. He'll be floating around the top of the leaderboard, most likely. Scotty doesn't know how to putt. And we know this now, and it's an issue, and it's going to be an issue moving forward. Although on easy courses, second in the field in scoring, birdie or better rates, fourth, bang, bang, 2 nice things there. But the putting, friends, family, fans, no dice. No dice. To get to minus 20, can you not? I mean, you got to minus 13 around minus what? Minus 8, whatever you need to get to around Murfield Village to finish third. Was minus 7 around this other golf. Like on these tough courses, he's just there. I don't know about him. But also Byron Nelson, he was fine. 26%. He's very popular. He's so consistent. I don't know how he's going to do the week after a major. That's also a fun little narrative that we were chatting about. I know my man Sia on the first cut was mentioning it, but Scotty, I don't know. I think I might go with Rahm. If the model's telling us that Rahm's a better play and we're going to get significant salary decreases and ownership discounts, sign us up. Now, is Rahm more consistent? No, but in a DFS world, all you need is one good week, and potentially Rahm can give you that 10% difference in ownership, especially with Cantley stealing a bit more there. Who's in third? And old Patrick Cantley coming back to a course here. He's got the 3rd best course history because he decided he was going to sacrifice his soul, pay tribute to old Xander, let him get a win that then allowed him to rattle off 3 victories within the space of like 5 starts. So shout out to old X-Man. He's going to give it to you. Is he going to do it this week? That is the question. And we took a peek at Xander Schauffele's fairway stats. from the fairway. And you know what? Look at this. This is going to be fun. This is going to be an absolute, we've got like 50 columns that we're going to have to hide here. But we're going to find this one. It is the most random column. It's 150 to whatever, what you call it. We don't even have it. Oh, no. So we're just going to go Control-Z here. Go back to the world that we're living in and find it in a different way. Xander Schauffele, I took a look this season. He is the number one golfer when it comes to the go zone. From 150 to 175, he leads the field in proximities. Xander does. And when it comes to, I think I know where it is now. Is it over here? Let's take a peek. There we go. All right. We found it, friends. So there's 150, 120. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Scooting all the way down here. Let's hide this thing. Take a look here. Take a look. Where is old X-Man? When it comes to 155 to 175, I don't know who the heck it is that's the same as him. Kevin Yu. Okay, so this is definitely first, by the way. So Xander doing his thing, but from 125 to 150, not so hot. So it's a really interesting dynamic. Like those short wedges are an issue, but a pitching wedge, 9-iron, 8-iron, in that range, he is dialed. And we're going to see a lot of that this week. So we really, really like what he can get up to in that department. So that's what Xander's situation is. I don't mind him this week. If people are going to freak out because he sucks in majors and can't close, so be it. 10-4, 15% owned, sign me up. Look at this consistency. He's finished in his 12 starts inside the top 40 every single start. Inside the top 20, 75% of the time too. So he's so mega consistent. And we go into a golf course that he won at last year, playing great golf. Sign me up for some Xander love in the DFS world. Almost got to him here at the top 20 at minus 120, but couldn't quite get there. We were looking for a little bit more value. We'll see what happens further down the board. Got some fun stuff to talk about, though. He's great. He does everything you need. Does everything you could wish for. So that's what you're getting from old X-Man. And we're going to add our bogeys back in here because we are ADDing our way through this podcast. So old Xander, I don't mind him at all. Then we get Victor. Same situation. Those calm courses for old Victor. Very, very nice. He's plus 100 for a top 10, top 20 on FanDuel. Same situation as Xander, making all his cuts this season, this year, 2023, sorry. And he's cruising, like his top 10 rate. When he pops. A third of the time, he's inside the top 10. Those include a few majors outside of last week because we were obviously on him to win an outright. And this is time for us to talk a bit about Cam Smith, who finished like fourth last week and chipped 3 times on a single hole earlier in the week. Just, you cannot do that on a golf course like that. On that 6th hole, he hit it out of the grass 3 times to make a bogey. Sitting right in front of the green, bogey, bang, done. Like those kind of situations are just brutal. He was our ticket. Almost. You so close, but no cigar. Actually, never really ever smelt the lead. Coming in clutch on Sundays always. That's what he does. But early in the week, couldn't quite do it. So that's what you're going to get. Victor, same situation. Just didn't show up to the party. Did not show up to the party. So we'll see what he can get up to. But old Victor's going to be dialing it in, as always. 16th in good shot percentages. And you can see Xander's 8th in that too. So from everywhere, he's golden. Outside of Scotty, I mean, Jesus, holy pink box city there. So we'll see what we can all get up to. I'm out on him. What's up, Darbo? We are cruising. I've got all sorts of ADD today, buddy. So these comments you're sending are going to be a serious problem. I'm also standing up, by the way. So that's going to be fun. The Amazon guys showing up to my doorstep as we speak. So there's all sorts of stuff going on around the world of Victor Hovland, who just couldn't quite get it done in another major, even though he has been just trending in that direction. He also finished like solo 19th. Such a random number. Like, how did nobody else shoot the same score as him in the middle of nowhere? But it is what it is. So we got old Victor doing his thing, just finishing all alone on solo 19th. I don't know what the hell's going on there. So yeah, I'm not going to pay full attention to all of those spam comments. I might have my Discord bot kick you out, Darbo, if you keep spamming me. I'm just kidding. But let's talk a bit about Rory. I don't know if he's going to be the guy this week. If you take a look at his long-term stats, from 150 to 175, 125 to 150, the go zone is a no-go zone for him. Standing is good for your health. Hitting bad wedges is not good for your health. That's what Rory typically does. We're going to see a lot of those this week. I don't know how much his drive is going to be that beneficial to him at a venue like this with having to rely on accuracy. Like last week, he could just nuke it off the tee. But the approach play, not so hot. The putting has been iffy. I've just been out on Rory the whole year, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't think this course suits him at all. So I don't think we're going to play him. Again, surprise. Rory's my new Rahm. We play Rahm instead of Rory now. We've got to hate some stud. So why not Rory? So we'll go with Rory as the fade at the top here. I don't know why 18%. Just, I don't know. It might be less. He typically does come in less, especially after the tough second place finish last week. Tony Finau, bro. Darba, I'm sure you're a big fan of how Tony Finau putts. I mean, the guy is the definition. Like the toe of his putter is by his knee. Like that's why he's called Tony. Like he's not Italian, but the toe-knee combo, nobody's toe is closer to their knee from a height perspective than Tony, because you cannot putt like that as a professional golfer. Who in their right mind wants to putt like that and then looks like he's having a mini seizure every time he's trying to roll in a 4-footer? I am very scared for Tony Finau's putter, even though the long putts are like he's better on those, and we think he rolls them in a bit better, but holy cow, those short putts are nasty. They are nasty. So we are kind of, I don't know. I don't think I want anything to do with Tony, especially on these kind of short golf courses. He's been causing us issues. He's been causing us serious, serious issues. And we've also, I don't even know who my bets are. Give me 2 seconds here, folks. We were just rolling by people. Here we go. Got Maniacs odds. We got my odds. We got all sorts of stuff going on here. But we're going to sort it out and get right back on track. We're going to get rid of these power ratings. Boom, boom. And off we go to the races. Actually, we don't even need to get rid of the power ratings. We just keep them right in there. So that's what's cooking over here. Tony Finau, we're not quite yet to our first bet of the day. The top of the board is kind of gross. We're not really seeing too much value. Tony's sitting there. He's close. But if you take a look at this T20 rate for him this season, 38% only. Just about as gross as his putting. I mean, him and Cameron Young just hanging on by a ball hair. I don't know what he's doing 11th in my model, but we'll find out here shortly. It's probably got to do with the fact that he's a beast off the tee still in these shorter courses. Tony Finau, I don't know. Can't do it. I cannot do it. I'd rather do Colin. I feel like he's just moving in a totally different direction right now. But we'll see. We will see. So Tony, we're out on. Sanjay, we're out on. Like, this guy has just been crap lately. Old Sanjay just doing his thing, goes to Korea and forgets how to play golf. Like, the model's telling us that plus 185 for a top 20 for a guy that's done it 47% of the time seems fair, seems valid, seems reasonable. I don't know about this. The guy's hasn't seen a top 20 since the Wells Fargo, when he was just rattling off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, leading up to the Woori Financial Group Championship in Korea. And since then, it's been cut, T41 cut. I don't understand how this happens. Like, that seemed like an obviously terrible decision to go and play in that tournament. Wins that damn thing and then just forgets how to play golf. We were talking about him being a great rainmaker. You put him in there just for a guaranteed top 20. No, Sanjay now has just forgot how to play golf. But now maybe this kind of a golf course is his thing. Like, if you take a look at his off the tee stuff for this kind of venue, at 7%, he's like dialed. He's absolutely dialed off the tee on these short golf courses. His approach play has been very bad. And it's typically very bad. I'm out. I can't do it. I can't. Like, there's just not enough good stuff here from Sanjay, even at that ownership. Oh boy. And we can't play him at that price, plus 185, when he hasn't done a top 40 in the last 4 starts. Yes, there have been majors, but we're out. We are out. Next person up on the board. We're going to do like some deep diving here on these matchups, on these placements, because I just plugged him in. We're going to figure out if we're going to go with him or not. We've got a Max Homer friends, who's sitting at a 55% T20 rate, and we're getting him at plus 210 for a top 20. Seems like some value, and then you take a scroll. Last 24 round strokes gain total 54th. Now we've got a miscut at the Zurich with his buddy, Colin. But we've got a T8 and a T9 at the Charles Schwab and the Wells Fargo. Sandwich kind of between a miscut at the US Open and then basically a miscut at the PGA Championship. 55th in the field at the PGA. He just melted down around the greens at the US Open. So this is probably a good bounce back spot for old Maximus. Plus 210 seems like a fair number for me. I don't mind him off the tee at this kind of a venue. I don't like his proximity numbers from 150 to 175, aka the go zone, but he's a putter. He can putt lights out, and this is going to be one of those weeks that we might need that to happen. He's 6th in birdie or better percentages in this field. Plays easy golf courses, 23rd in the field, whatever. I do think I like him at 10%, sub 10% ownership at $8,900, and we like him for a top 20 at plus 210. We've got 2 top 10s outside of those 2 majors. We know that Max is minimum in majors. He's just minimum homer when it comes to a major for now. And it's unfortunate because I really like him, and my Rainmaker cards are taking a severe beating from old Maximus Homer's situation. This is not a major. This is the Travelers Championship, and potentially we can get another top 10 from old Max at $8,900, which is an ideal price for a guy that's got winning upside, obviously. So we don't mind him at all. $9,500 for Colin Morikawa, 12% ownership on the DFS side of things, is going to be a peculiar situation because you know what Colin Morikawa's situation is, friends, family, and fans. Colin Morikawa does this thing where in majors, he gains strokes putting and around the greens. He's gained strokes putting 3 times since the RBC Heritage, 4 times since the Masters. 3 of those times have been the US Open, the PGA Championship, and the Masters. Yes, he gained some strokes at the Memorial. That seems like a severe outlier. Every single other non-major outside of the Memorial, Colin Morikawa has basically lost strokes putting. He has gained them severely off the tee, and we did finally see a bit of extra distance and some better accuracy from old Colin this week, so that is better. Seems like the driver's kind of moving back to gaining about half a stroke per round on the field, which has been a bit of an issue for him lately. Since the Wells Fargo, he really hasn't done much off the tee, although the iron play has been fantastic. $9,500 at a birdie fest. Colin Morikawa, if you take a look at his birdie or better rate, 17th in the field, not quite up there. The bogey avoidance is definitely not ideal for someone that doesn't make that many birdies. And the par 5 scoring is not going to be the thing we're looking for. There's only 2 of them this week. So we're out on Colin. No dice. I think people are going to get really excited with his putting because what? He's gained 3 out of the last 4. Well, 2 of them have been majors. So just want you to know that. I bet you now that he loses strokes putting this week. Cameron Young is next up, 11th in the model. Just a straggler, a drifter, a guy that doesn't make any sense. Last 24 rounds, 57th in the model. In recent form, 7th off the tee on short golf courses, though, not bad. And then he's a really solid wedge player. Very solid. Makes a lot of birdies. But this is season-long stats. Bogey avoidance is 111th in this field. He just cannot get up and down. He's going to be 10% owned again. Played nicely at a golf course that really suits his game. He can just boom drivers off the tee. I think he was absolutely one of the guys that absolutely crushed it off the tee last week. Because the fairways are just so massive. Yeah, he was gained over half a stroke on the field per round. Actually, one of his worst driving performances since the PGA Championship. So on a golf course like that, I don't know. The putting was better. The around the green play is better. It does look like he's gone from being atrociously bad with the putter, where he had those 2 missed cuts at the Memorial on the PGA, to just being back to half shit. So we'll see. The around the green plays okay. The iron plays bouncing back. I don't know about him. Maybe at 85, 10%. If that sits around there, we're in. He has some upside. We've seen what he can do around Harbour Town once or twice, but also, I don't know. Ricky Fowler is going to be interesting this week. Very, very interesting. And he was also someone I had to manually edit because his course history is 125th in the field. But also the guys that we saw playing the Travelers Championship prior to 2023, Ricky Fowler, is a Ricky Fowler orange ball that lacked any juice, that lacked any flavor, seedless. The skin of it was like crumply and crusty. Now we've got a nice, juicy, tasty, flavorful, perpetually seeding orange Ricky Fowler. As you can tell by his 5th ranked recent form, almost winning the US Open. Whew. He should have done it, man. He had it in the bag. The guy crushed it on the birdie front. So I don't mind him going to a birdie fest. I don't mind him with his bogey avoidance rate offsetting his birdies at 14th and 15th in the field. So at $9,100, he finally gets priced to the point where the ownership is going to kind of not be ridiculous, even 25% range, because he's sitting around guys like, let's fall to this year and just take a quick peek. We finally got Ricky sitting between Matt Fitz, Wyndham Clark, Tommy Fleetwood, Max Homer, and then you got JT in there. Holy cow. So there's some interesting situations here. Even those guys, I still feel like Ricky's a better player than all of them right now. More consistent. He should be winning a tournament here soon. Not a major. I don't think he's ever going to win a major because he's just one of those guys. I mean, holy cow. He went back to crusty, flat orange, sour orange juice on Sunday. Not good for him. But anyway, we like him this week. We like him a lot. Around the green play, approach play, all of that jazz. Weighted strokes gains 9th in the field. Good shot percentages 11th. Blah, blah, blah. Cruising on down the board. To Hideki Matsuyama, who's $8,600, 12%. I have a feeling that is going to be an inaccurate ownership percentage for Hidexter because he's been playing well. He does it nicely on whatchamacallit courses, shorter courses. He's off the tee 20th, not too shabby. But if you take a look at his easy scoring, it's 45th in the field. If you take a look at his birdie or better rates, it's 41st. So if one of those is okay, you can kind of ignore the other. But if both of them is sitting outside the top 40, not ideal. Maybe because he can't putt. 67th, 65th, 110th, 128th on the different putting stats. All not good. So we'll see what he can get up to. Recently, 123rd in putting. So I don't know if he can hold enough putts to kind of get it done at a venue like this, despite him playing nicely. I wouldn't mind him for a top 20 at plus 210, but even that, the model isn't liking because of his slow start to the season. So we're kind of out. We're out. And we're probably out on Tom Kim as well. And that might come back to bite us a little bit. But if you take a look at what old Tom Kim has done, the guy balled out last week. He crushed it on approach. That's Tom Kite. Tom Kite's not the guy we want to talk about. We want to talk about old Thomas Kim because he's got actual stats on the PGA Tour. He had a putting performance that was actually much better than we've seen in a very long time, pretty much since the American Express, which was like ages ago. That's when we still thought Tom had it in him. But now we're starting to see some flashes off the tee. I mean, he barely lost strokes to the field last week on a venue that he should have just been absolutely hemorrhaging strokes. He was barely just 8 yards of distance losing to the field on a course like that. So I don't know what's the deal. We'll see what he can get up to, but he's going to be mega popular this week. The irons popped in a big, big way. And now we get a guy like Tom Kim who's got the 3rd best accuracy in the field. Yeah. At 19%. So I don't know if I'm going to be leaning on that much this week. And also from the go zone, he's 3rd and 12th in proximity numbers. So a lot of it makes sense, but at 19%, maybe not. I mean, that birdie percentage rate, 31st, the putter has to show up at a venue like this. And he has not gained more than a stroke since the Masters outside of last week. So that's what you're getting with Tom Kim at 19% ownership. do with it what you want. We'll do other things like Jason Day. Jason Day on these shorter courses has typically struggled off the tee, but if you look at easy golf course scoring, like we're going to see this week, it's third in the field. Old J Day. The recent form, Jason Day, boys, girls, it's been bad. It has been one of the worst things that could have happened to Jason Day was win a tournament. I wish he finished second. I honestly did. Since his win, he's missed 3 straight cuts. Hasn't putted positively once. Has lost on approach all 3 times. He's gained off the tee 1 time. What are we doing, Jason Day? What are we doing? Just the most unreal flaming out of talent I've ever seen in my life. He might still be a little injured, but the putting is getting progressively worse. It's not a good situation, folks. It's not a good situation. However, at some point, he's got to bounce back, right? And it could be a top 10. It could be a top 10 finish. Like, you don't just start playing that badly unless you're injured, which makes me very scared. So I don't know. Hopefully that ownership goes down even more, and then we kind of bounce on it. But at 8%, we're still kind of iffy. Although I don't mind him this week. Russell Henley is up next, $7,800, and looking like he's going to be one of the chalkiest 7K guys we've seen in a long time. Why? Because Russell Henley has gained strokes putting in his last 4 starts. Russell Henley, friends. Russell Henley, the guy that cannot sink a putt if he was in a submarine with a hole in the side. A sinking submarine he could not sink a putt on. But yet here we are, looking at Russell Henley's stats that have gained him putting in 6 of his last 7 starts. If you take away the PGA Championship, the guy has balled out. Top 20 finishes in all freaking 7 starts, but only a T4 at the Masters. Everything else sitting T14 to T19, which is very peculiar. This week potentially is the time for him to shine. As the most accurate player in the field, it's interesting because old Russell, he's gaining a lot of strokes by not hitting bad shots. He's the second best at avoiding poor shots, but he's 128th in good shots. So he's just not, and maybe that's why he's gaining on the putting side, is because he's not hitting it to like dead stiff often, because he typically misses those 5-footers. So now he's just kind of hitting it to the middle of the green regulation, 17th in the field. And then he's just nailing those longer range putts where the short ones are typically hurt him. Now he's not too shabby on them because he's in the middle of the green all the time. Such a peculiar situation because he's a really good iron player and he was one of the very best at one point. And now that he's been gaining on approach, it's been by playing safe. I think you need to be aggressive this week. I think that's what you need. And I just don't see him doing it. He's 80th in birdie or better rates. So we're out on him at that ownership for sure. So happy hunting there, everyone. We'll go with Siwoo Kim, who's 29th in birdie or better rates. Who's this guy sitting over here? Kevin Yu, our guy. Yeah, we'll talk about some Kevin Yu here shortly. But Siwoo Kim, easy golf course scoring, 4th in the field. Boom. Accuracy off the tee, 6th in the field. Boom. Go zone, proximities, 6th in the field. Boom. This is looking like a situation we're going to bet Siwoo Kim, actually, friends. Siwoo Kim is 50-1. Let's go take a peek. So this is like my little handy-dandy odds thing that I do, yeah? We rock and roll with this like this. It's a fun little thing where you take all the different models. So you take my Maniac model, and then you add 20% extra to approach off the tee, accuracy, distance, birdie rates, difficulty of the course, bogey avoidance around the green. And you just add them all together, par 5 scoring, putting, no putting, all that jazz, history, recent form. So those are kind of the things that we talk about regularly on the show. You kind of pick which one you want. Like distance does not deserve to be in here this week, so we're going to move that, and that changes the guy's average. Then you figure out exactly where you want to be with the average, all that jazz. Putting, no putting, you have both in there, whatever. Take around the green, play out. We don't really care about that much. And then we scroll over. So here's Siwoo Kim's name. And we're going to go and see. His odds are 50-1. And do we see value in this bet? And yes, we do. It tells us we've got a 1.1% edge on Siwoo Kim's odds this week. So we like that. And we like it a lot. If we filter by the top guys, Kevin Yu is our main man, sitting at a casual 3.1%, but he's got sample size issues like you don't want to know. And then we got Eric Cole, who we're going to talk about here shortly. But Siwoo shaking that ass over here for us at 1%, 1.1%. And what it likes the most about Siwoo is the no putt situation. If we get a bit of a no putt variability situation with Siwoo, he jumps up all the way to a 4.1% edge on what we're looking for here. So we really, really like what we're seeing from old Siwoo, and we're going to bet him at 50-1. So we're going to go over here, do our little thing, Rotoballer outright, add a Siwoo Kim to our names, and while we're here, we might as well just discuss a few other guys. Siwoo at 50. If we got our $15, we're going to bet $2.20 to win 108. And that's what we do over there at Breaking 100, and we are writing the article here on Back 9 Bets because it's been one of those weeks. So this is what's cooking, friends. This is what's cooking. Siwoo Kim, sign us the hell up for him. Give us him at 13% 8K. Easy golf course scoring. Birdie or better rates are pretty solid at 29th. Nothing spectacular. Also dodges the bogeys pretty nicely. But man, oh man, do we like that go zone. That proximity number there just is delightful. Accuracy and proximity equals Siwoo victory. Hopefully we can clip that one. See what happens. See what happens. If we're putting on Poa grass, it's a disaster. We don't know. We don't know what these are. We don't know what these freaking greens are. We have no idea. He's 47th in course history here. We'll see what happens. We will see. Next up's Corey Connors. I don't really give a crap about him here. 7-7, 13% owned, blah, blah, blah. He's going to give you what Corey Connors gives you. Good ball striking, bad putting. He's basically a different version of Siwoo Kim. Just doesn't necessarily pop as much on easy golf course scorings. Siwoo won the goddamn Sony Open. So we'll see what he can get up to. Let's jump on all the way down here to Kevin Yu. I don't think I like Matty Fitz at this week. Easy scoring 71st in the field. Oof, yikes. So I do manually adjust Kevin Hu, friends. Kevin Hu is part of the episode title. Kevin Yu, You, Me, and the Hubby. Episode 65 of Back 9 Bets. Kevin Yu's plus 330 for a top 40. He's played 4 times, and this is the sample size issue that we have. This year, he's played 4 times. He's made 3 cuts, top 40 in 2 of them, and a top 20 in 1 of them. The time he made a top 20, I believe, was at Pebble. We'll pull up Kevin Yu's stuff here so we can talk about him a little bit more accurately. Kevin Yu, my friends. It's an interesting situation. His last 3 starts, he's gained ridiculously on approach. He's done hot and cold with the putter, finished T21 at the Sony, and 7th at Pebble. That's what you're going to get from the U-Man, the U-Man Chu. Kevin Yu, 19th in the model, off the tee on these shorter golf courses in his 11 rounds, 3rd in the field. On proximity situations, he's sitting right there with Xander, 2nd. And I think what it's doing is it's using a title of a row or a column, and that's why there's not a 1. But Kevin Yu is hanging out there with Xander in this situation. And in the weighted good shot area, he's 14th in the field. So he hits it tight. Makes a lot of birdies, 8th in the field in birdie rates. So we can get behind Kevin Yu at 66 and 4%. We can get behind him for a top 40 at plus 330. And we're going to bet this dude at plus 350 at 350-1. 31 cents to win 106. Why the heck not? He's a ball striking beast. And we're going to play him in DFS as well. I don't care. I love what we've been seeing. If we get an outlier short game week, this guy's on fire. We've seen what Wyndham Clark can get up to. Spike with those short games every now and then. Not calling him a Wyndham Clark, but he's also not better than him. Also, he was like, the sample size is causing some serious issues here. He's not nearly better than Tommy Fleetwood and company, but you get my gist. Putting him in 19th here just because. We like him. We want to spice things up a little bit. We're rocking Kevin Yu. Kevin University. Plus 330 for a top 40 and plus 350,000. 350 to 1 to win this damn thing. Let's go. Let's go. Next up, Adam Scott, the guy that's finished top 40 73% of his times, and we get him at a top 40 plus 135. Bang, sign us up. Let's roll. Simple stuff. The approach play is not ideal at all for old Adam, but we're going to get a great driver of the golf ball. We're going to get a great putter, and we'll see what he can get up to. I don't know what Adam Scott's situation is, but he makes a lot of birdies, 10th in the field in birdie rates. So let's go. Top 40 is all we need from Adam. We're not even going to play him at $7,900 in DraftKings. Just going to bet him for a top 40. Simple stuff. Also, Tommy Fleetwood, $9,300, 12% owned all the way down here in the model because 54th in birdie or better rates. He's behind only Russell Henley. Like he's bad when it comes to making birdies. He had an outlier putting performance at the RBC Canadian. I can't do old Tommy. I can't do Keegan. Keegan's situation is also easy golf course scoring. 125th. Tommy Fleetwood, 104th. Woof. Woof. Not good. Wyndham Clark, easy scoring, 36th. We'll see. I don't know. Wyndham, if he, $9,200, 10% owned. Interesting situation. Moving on down, though. Eric Cole. Eric freaking Cole, friends. This guy's a top 40 factory. He is a top 40 factory because in his last few starts, he's finished T23, T15, missed the cut at the Charles Schwab. T24, T6, T39. Two of those include a major. One of them was at the RBC Canadian Open, where he finished T6. This dude is cruising. Eric Cole's $7,300, and he's plus 210 for a top 40 in this field. And he's done it 65% of the time. And he's also done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the last 6 starts. Let's go. He's been crushing it for us on the top 40 market. He has been crushing it for us in the top 40 market, and we might even be looking for ourselves a little Eric Cole action in the outright world. At plus 175, I believe in Eric Cole. We're going to add him to our list of historically long outright cards, and I think we're going to roll with the Engage 8 this week. We've got 5 of our guys already, and that is where it's going. So far we've spoken about Kevin Yu, Siwoo, and Eric Cole. Got a very short list of individuals here for an outright situation, but we kind of like it. And we'll see what we can get up to. We've got a few other guys coming up down the board that really kind of spark a little bit of interest in the outright world. Again, we'll explain why. But Eric Cole, top 40, plus 210. Go grab him there. I mean, this dude is just rattling off top 40 after top 40 right now. So I love what he's up to. I don't even know. 7%, we're going to play him. I like what he's up to. Austin Eckroat's the same price, and he's catching heavy steam, severely heavy steam, probably because he's played a little bit better recently. But Eric Cole, boys, girls, he's a baller. So we'll take him as a pivot over Austin Eckroat any day, even though Eckroat went T2, T16, T30, T10. A little bit more upside recently. Solid on approach, solid off the tee, accurate, good distance, all that jazz, been putting nicely. Eckroat's playing some good golf, friends, but 15% ownership for a $7,300 golfer is kind of nuts when you can do an Eric Cole who's kind of in the same boat. I wouldn't mind taking a Sahith Theegala at that ownership either. Get less ownership on Sahith at $1,000 more. So we'll see what we can get up to there. But Eckroat's been balling. He is trending in the right direction, and that approach play is looking very spicy right now. Looking very, very spicy. And I'll see you called it. Russell Henley, Austin Eckroat playoff. I don't know if that's ever going to be the situation, but we'll see what comes up there. So we got old Billy Gableman over here. How do Kevin Yu and Eric Cole do at the 150 to 175 buck, a 25% increase, 29% increase in those shots? Yes. So Kevin Yu is second in the field, dude, in proximities from that range. Very, very nice. Who did you want? Eric Cole. Here he is down here. 62nd. Nothing too fancy. Nothing too crazy. He's just a solid guy. And Eric Cole's secret weapon is short game. So it's not necessarily going to be like he's going to ball strike this place to death, but he's going to make putts and chip things in if he does miss the green. So his short game is definitely what helps him out the most. And that's also why, you don't necessarily see him. I mean, 18% top 10 rate is pretty freaking solid, if you ask me. So we can see him get hot with the putter. We've seen him get hot around the greens. The approach play is not necessarily his biggest strength, but old Kevin Yu, man, whew, it's weird. It's a very small sample size, but Billy, he is looking frisky for us. So I don't mind him at all. Seth Theegala, also, if you take a look at his good shot rate from these proximities, he's a baller. And now, I don't understand his proximity numbers from 125 to 150 being that bad when he's one of the best wedge players in the world. When it comes to hitting inside, gaining over half a stroke, a good shot, that's what Sahith Theegala does. So if he can get hot on those, you want upside on those kind of shots, and he's got them. So we like him, and he almost won here last year. He's got one of the best freaking course histories here too. He was right in the mix and just couldn't get it done. Hopefully, this kind of golf course versus the RBC Canadian can see from, he's coming back from knee surgery. Is that where he's been? Interesting. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, if he's coming back, he's coming back. Why? If you're going to bet him, I think that's fair. If you're going to play him in DFS, I don't know about that, because also at 4%, knowing that he's got knee surgery, I don't know. But I don't care. I think it's fine. He's probably taken his time off. By now, he's ready to rock and roll. Let's see what Kevin Yu can get up to. 4%, 66. You don't have to play him. Too many guys. He's a nice salary saver. I think the upside's there at that kind of price and ownership. Don't mind it at all. But also the knee surgery is a good. I was wondering why he hadn't been playing for so long. So I probably should have investigated that a bit better, but I do like what he's been up to prior to having a knee issue. That's disappointing, isn't it? So anyway, we'll see what he can get up to. But Sahith Theegala, I think we're going to add him to our card because we've been on him a lot. And we're just going to bet guys that are going in the wrong direction. So there's a 70-1 for Sahith Theegala on whatchamacallit, on FanDuel. And we're going to bet him over there because this is what we're doing here. We're adding just bomb squads to the card here. $157 to win 105 for Sahith. We are talking about, friends. Let me go over here real quick. So when Sahith Theegala, we're going to find this year-to-date strokes gained approach, and we're going to go all the way over here, where I've highlighted over here. Good shots from the fairway, from inside 150. So we see there's a lot of them that come from 150 to 175, but also a decent amount from 125 to 150. And if we filter this bad boy by the best to the worst, where is old Sahith Theegala over here? This is good shots. Oh, this is strokes gained. We want good shots. Good shots. Here we go. Let's do this. Good shots. Sahith Theegala. Okay, he's kind of gone backwards a tad. But we've got Ted Potter Jr., Sebastian Munoz, Joseph Bramlett, and Adam Hadwin all ahead of him. So pretty much nobody that's in this field is better than him at that. So he's just out here cruising. He's just hitting dimes 13% of the time. Sahith Theegala is knocking it very close from wedge range. So we'll see what he can get up to. We like him at 70-1. That's an awesome number. Don't mind him there at all. We're going to roll with him. See what he can get up to. We are going with Sahith, friends. I think this golf course suits his eye. Hopefully that driver can figure itself out. It's been really his only issue lately. So we'll see what he can get up to. We know he can get scorching hot with the putter. We don't mind him at all. Brian Harman, $7,500, 10% owned. Second best course history. Easy scoring on easy scoring conditions. 12th in the field. But he still doesn't make that many birdies. He just doesn't make a lot of bogeys. We saw him pop last week when the scoring conditions were easy and then kind of fell backwards as they got more difficult. I don't know if I like Brian Harman, although he has been playing some solid golf. We'll play like Emiliano Grillo instead. I prefer him much more. And in fact, we're going to bet Emiliano Grillo at plus 190 for a top 40. He's been doing it 33% of the time. His recent form is pretty solid. He's just won a tournament, played some great golf recently. We don't mind ourselves some Emilio Pellegrino. We just want to make sure that he hasn't checked out since his win at the Charles Schwab. And in fact, he finished 48th at the Memorial and then missed the cut at the US Open because the putter seems like it's absolutely lost its jazz again. We'll take a gamble. We don't mind what he's been up to recently. Maybe the US Open kind of just reset his expectations and we go from there. So we need a guy who can get hot with the putter. Everyone who finished his top 10 last year again. Yeah, exactly. But, Billy, that is one of the hardest things to predict. It is one of the hardest things to predict. But, yeah, Denny, Todd, Harmon, Putnam, all those guys doing their thing. Yeah. Yes, Hunter, my boy. Brian Harmon being over 10% owned is something. We saw this at the Charles Schwab last year. 15, 17% owned Brian Harmon. Boom, missed the cut. So, I don't know. But now also, Billy, we're just jumping all over the place. I've got some stats here, the last 100 rounds, okay? We'll do this real quick. Have some fun with this statistics. So strokes gained putting. Let's go all the way over here. Oh, it's early on. Early on, strokes gained putting. So we're going to do putting percentage, so 75. Yeah, this column right over here is putting. This is the 75th percentile. Okay. And these are strokes gained above that. So we're going to kind of see who has upside when it comes to putting upside. And it's Michael Thorbjornsen, who's played 33 events. John Rahm, Minwoo Lee, Denny McCarthy, Andrew Putnam. Yes, all your guys you're mentioning. Some Ben Taylor, Justin Lower. Justin Lower is one of these guys where the putter just lights up. I don't know how often it lasts for multiple rounds during a tournament, but Harris English, Max Homa. Max Homa, folks. I don't know. Like, Max Homa is 50-1. My boy Eli, we're sitting 57 minutes into the podcast here, and Max Homa's come up, and we're wondering why. 50-1 for Max Homa, who has one of the best upside putting spike putting stats in the field. We've had him 2 top 10 finishes in his last 2 starts that aren't majors. What are we doing? What are we doing? Does Max turn it around for us? Does Max turn it around for us? That is the question. Is Max in the... Yep, he's giving us 1.5% worth of value, especially if we give him some extra putting stats. That seems like his absolute best chance to succeed this week. Oh, boy. I think we're going to do it, folks. We're going to pull the trigger on a Max Homa here. Live and in survival mode. Max Homa, 50-1. Bang. And the card. We're going to figure out what goes on here, and we are now at a total of $8.61 for breaking 100. We're probably going to throw one more dude in. What would that cost us? 40-1. Yeah, we got a 30-1 in there. 25-1. We've got some change to fiddle around with here. So we're going to find out one more dude before we get out of here. But we've got a good solid card. We've got Max and Sahith. I like those 2 gentlemen there as upside plays. Max, putting. Billy, this is the thing, like you mentioned. So we'll see what he can get up to. Justin Thomas is now $8,000, 800, and he's 5% owned. And his course history is hot garbage, and he's the 71st best informed golfer in the field. Not good. He can't putt to save his life right now. So that's what's going on in Justin Thomas's world. Still making a decent amount of birdies. Has never played well yet before. Not much to write home about. So Tom Hoagie's also interesting, and so is Ben Martin. Ben Martin's been doing his thing. $6,700, 2% owned. Top 40s in about a third of his starts, 3 out of 10 times in 13 starts is what Ben Martin gets inside the top 40 there, plus 320. Interesting situation. What's he been looking like recently? We are over an hour again, but you know what? So be it. We're kind of deep diving some Ben Martin action here deep at the bottom of the board, and his game has just gone south. Hasn't had a top 40 since the RBC Heritage. The short game's in shambles. Can't quite get it together. The approach play is still very solid. Everything else sucks. Accuracy of the tee is not too shabby. Around the green play has been dire. So Ben Martin at plus 320 Seems like a tough situation, yeah. In some big events, he hasn't necessarily shone. Wells Fargo, RBC Canadian, 2 missed cuts. I don't know. I don't know if we want to do Ben Martin, friends. We're not going to bet him. We're not going to bet him at all. But what we are going to do is probably bet Tom Hoagie for a top 20. Because it's just one of these weeks where approach play and just getting dialed, hitting good shots and making putts. I know he doesn't putt all that. I don't know. No. See, because the thing is, there's a little thing over here. I use this thing to kind of figure out, okay, is it worth betting a guy for a top 40 or is it worth betting a guy for a top 20? So 67% of Tom Hoagie's top 40s are top 20s. So would you want to really bet him a top 40 bet when you can pretty much get almost double the odds? He's going to be plus 500-ish for a top 20, and he's top 20ing 2 out of 3 times he's top 40ing. So the math there, if you're going to get more than double if you're going to get double the odds and more 2 out of 3 times he's finishing inside the top 20, I feel like that's the route we have to go here. Especially if it's telling us we want to go to him at a top 40 bet. But what freaking Tom Hoagie's been up to lately has been just so bad. But also, I don't mind him as a DFS play at 3%, $7,200. I feel like that's a very affordable situation for him. But also, the funniest thing is he hasn't finished inside the top 40 in the last 5 starts. So that doesn't seem like we're going to be going there. So yeah, Ben Martin, Tom Hoagie getting some serious long-term love from the books here. I don't know, Burks. Don't know if we're doing that. Hayden Buckley has forgotten how to chip. He's out. Can't play him. Brendan Todd, 43% of the time, top 40 rate. We'll see what he can get up to. Can't do anything off the tee, but he's super accurate, but also still doesn't necessarily gain that much on these shorter golf courses when it does get there. Makes a decent amount of birdies at 34th. Oh, Brendan Todd. Why are you always so appealing? But I don't know. I don't know why I like Brendan Todd so much, but he just doesn't seem to get it together for us when we want him to. I see old Billy wants a Hideki quickly. All right, bro beans. I haven't really done too much Denny or Putnam. They're coming right up. So we'll do Hideki real quick. I'll just tell you right now, some highlights for Hideki are the fact that for someone at $8,600, you're going to get a birdie or better percentage rate and an easy scoring rate that sit 45th and 41st in the field. So those two guys, those two numbers, he's got one of the worst birdie or better rates in this top tier outside of Rory. And we know Rory's a beast, but Hideki's putting just doesn't quite get him home. So I think that's the issue that we're finding out with Hideki. I'm out on him. Denny, we'll see. Seamus Powers, someone I've always liked to talk about, but he sucks right now. I just can't figure it out. CT Pan is interesting, friends. He's been playing solid. Just been doing his thing slowly. Yeah, not so great for Hideki. I don't know. He's playing solid. I like him on harder courses. I like him on courses he has to rely on the ball striking. I like him in a situation where there's thicker rough. You know, they're going to hit like 7 out of 10 fairways this week. It's not his thing. You know, he needs to be, he's so good out of the rough. I think you want him on like a Murfield, you know, Memorial type situation. I don't know how much he's going to be able to hang in there with the birdie side of things this week. Denny, on the other hand, bogey avoidance is all the way up there, but look how popular he is. $7,600, 14% Denny. Easy scoring, birdie or better rates, 56th and 46th. So similar situation here, Billy. We've got Hideki sitting with slightly better numbers in that department, but although Denny's a very, very good putter, he just seems to not get it dialed in regularly. I don't know what the deal is. The iron play has been getting better. He's the best putter in the field over the last 24 rounds. He's playing some great golf recently. I don't know. Benny McCarthy got a second, a top 20. You know, there's a lot to like there. I don't know. He just seems to not get enough birdie looks. So I don't think that's his thing. I mean, if you take a look at all the easy scoring conditions here over the last little while, he's been playing in all these big boy events though. So we really haven't had a chance to see him go into a birdie fest, which I think this is going to be close to. But like the RBC Heritage, I think was pretty close. You can say T25 there wasn't bad. The players, T13, solid. That's good. It's good. He's solid, but he's also T10 rates is getting up there now. He's starting to play good, but it's all putter. And we know that that's the situation. At 14%, though, interesting situation to deal with there. So I like him. I don't know if I like that ownership, bud. We'll see what goes on. Brandon Hu, we like to play in non-big boy events. We're out on him this week. These top 20s and top 10s that we see on Brandon Hu's slate are all in non-elevated events, which we saw again at the RBC Canadian. Justin Suh's a cut-making machine, but it's hilarious. He makes 93% of his cuts, and 47% of them are only top 40s. He just can't close. So that's fun there on Justin Suh's side of things. He also tends to play better in these big events, so we'll see what he can get up to. But if you're just looking for a cut maker, there's your guy. Andrew Putnam, Billy, there he is. He is interesting. Despite his accuracy on these shorter golf courses, he's still gaining quite poorly, losing a lot of strokes to the field. And when it comes to easy scoring, though, 16th in the field for Andrew Putnam. So we don't mind him there at all. If you want to take a comp course situation, I feel like the Sony Open is a solid one. Andrew Putnam obviously almost won that thing. $7,200, 5% owned. I don't mind Andrew Putnam. The approach play has been pretty solid lately. Off the tee is his biggest issue. But he's accurate. And we've seen key stats, 9% accuracy more than normal on the PGA Tour. And that's what Andrew Putnam does. So we like that a lot. So we'll see what he get up to. I am all about Nate Lashley, boys and girls. He's just one of these guys. If you want to think about like Pebble Beach being another comp, he's played well there before. $7,000 flat, 1% owned. I love what Nate Lashley can get up to. Look at these approach numbers. He's solid from 150 to 175, 39th in the field. You take a look at weighted green regulation rates, 13th in the field, 25th in bogey avoidance, and 35th in birdie or better percentage. For a guy that's $7,000, 1% owned, let's go. Love Nate Lashley this week. Love him. Like at 1%, we're not getting too many 1%ers early on, and I really like his chances. So we'll go with Nate Lashley. This golf course screams to me Matt Kuchar. Yet the wedge ranges, his proximity numbers are really bad. Very interesting. So I don't mind playing Kuch at 1% either. Don't mind him. Aaron Rai has been balling out. Look at this approach play of the last 24 rounds, 9th in the field. And his easy scoring has got better. He played very, very nicely at the RBC Canadian. So he's kind of moving in the right direction. And he's got this accuracy on his side in a big, big way. So we can see what he can get up to. If you want to take a look at what he's been up to, actually, I think Aaron Rai's putter has kind of made a bit of a turnaround lately. No, it hasn't. He can't putt still. He hasn't gained strokes putting in a long time. So if you were looking for a putting tournament, this is not Aaron Rai's situation. We're actually out on that. I don't know. Freaking hell, Aaron Rai. What is his deal? Taylor Moore might be someone that we're looking for here. If we're looking for some spike putting, look at this. 14th in the field in strokes gained putting normal. Second in the field from 5 to 15 feet. Solid off the tee on the shorter golf courses, even though his accuracy sucks. And this guy on easy scoring 55th. So 40, I don't mind him. Taylor Moore's my guy. I like him a lot, $200. But let's jump on down to Mark Hubbard. I feel very guilty jumping past JT Poston, who's also a very good putter, typically. And he's actually been putting a lot better lately. So that's good to see. And look at JT Poston, 21st from 150 to 175 in proximity numbers. So that's nice. So I think JT Poston might be good. I'm glad I never jumped over him. Yeah, we like him a lot this week. But Mark Hubbard, we like the most. Because Mark Hubbard's 22nd in course history. Mark Hubbard is third in recent approach play. He's top half of the field when it comes to accuracy off the tee. That's fine. His off the tee game is terrible. But that's not that big important this week. The accuracy is there. It's his strength, even though it's like field average. Weighted strokes gained, 19th in the field. Avoids the poor shots pretty well. We saw what he got up to. He's vibing. Mark Hubbard is vibing right now. He almost won the damn freaking RBC Canadian Open. T9 at the Charles Schwab, T6 at the RBC Canadian. That's what you're going to get from Mark Hubbard. He's moving in the right direction. 150 to 1 to win this damn tournament. He's gained in his last 3 starts 8 strokes in one, 4 strokes in the other, another 8 strokes in the next on approach. And he's gained putting in 2 out of the 3. If we get a big spike putting week from Hubby, you, me, and the Hubby are going to be celebrating, friends. Episode 65, Mark Hubbard, 150 to 1 to win this damn thing. 3rd best iron play in the field recently. How can you not bet a guy like that on a shorter golf course? He's a baller, shot caller. It's go time for him. Let's see what he can get up to. Andrew Novak is someone who's done ridiculous things. $6,600. This guy's making cuts in an 83% clip. We'll filter by safety here and just see. Like you can see, where's Andrew Novak? Oh yeah, this giant green box amidst all these $9,000, $8,000 golfers. Look at this. Andrew Novak is a cut-making beast, and he's starting to move in the right direction as well. He was right around the mix at the RBC Canadian Open, and in fact, I might bet him as well. We're going to bet Andrew Novak as well, folks. We're not messing around here today. We are not messing around here. Andrew Novak, 500 to 1. Don't even have to lay more than a dime on that. So we're going to go to Andrew Novak's thing here, taking our time. It is what it is. Andrew Novak, 500 to 1. 28 cents to win 129. Sign me the hell up for that. We'll also be playing a lot of Andrew Novak in whatchamacallit in DFS because this guy's a cut-making beast. He's amazing. He is amazing. 50% of the time he's inside the top 40. So we might even also just bet him for a top 40. I don't even know what his odds are. We're going to do a maniac override on that. I love Andrew Novak this week. Love him this week. What is his situation? Off the tee, not good. Because what? Just distance, accuracy, the whole thing. Terrible. But if you take a look at his recent shorter courses, 42nd in strokes gained off the tee on those. And he's 39th from 150 to 175. Yeah, let's go there. Putting, 25th in the field in strokes gained putting. Playing some good golf. Recently, 42nd. So he's like right in the mix. I don't mind him at all. Don't mind him one little bit. So we're going to go to Andrew Novak. He's one of our first $6,000 golfers that we are very thrilled to introduce to you. That's not Kevin Yu, who's got a broken knee. So that's fun stuff. Let's keep on scooting down the board. Sam Ryder's a very interesting prospect at 65. He's one of the best putters, but also hasn't been doing anything in a long time. So that's what's cooking, folks. Got to talk about Bezzy before we get out of here. Sitting all the way in 63rd in my model. Very disappointing stuff. Because somehow Bezzy is now the 10th best approach player in a designated event, but 115th around the green. I don't know what has happened to his around the green play recently, and it's very disappointing because it's completely sabotaged his entire ability to get anywhere close to where he needs to be. He's been balling out on approach, kind of cooled off a little bit the last 2 events, but the around the green play has been bad. He has gained in the last 2 out of the last 3, so that's better. Moving in the right direction. Accuracy over distance, that's exactly what you're looking for here. Christian Bezuidenhout will be in my lineups. He will be in my betting card at at 275 to 1. Christian Bezuidenhout, folks. You can't be that good of an iron player. You can't be that accurate off the tee. You can't be that good of a putter and not be on a card that those 3 things this week are essential. The birdie or better rates is not the best for Bezzy. 102nd in the field, not ideal. But also this is a full season long's worth of stats. We've seen him get much, much better lately. T23 at the AT&T Byron Nelson. T21 at the Charles Schwab. T38. It's time. He needs to pop. He needs to get his thing going. And it's go time for Bezzy. And that's me, folks. An hour 15 in. My feet are sore. I've never said that before ending a podcast. But it was tough. Not going to lie to you. This was a difficult pod to get through. I was not looking forward to it. It's been a tough sled. Not hitting an outright this year has just been, it's so hard. It's like, it just takes all the air out of your sails. You're just going to try and keep crushing the bread and butter bets. I know we probably should have picked a few better up top names, but what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I think I like Sahith. I like Max. Those are our two studs at the top. See what we can get up to with the rest of our boys. Have some fun betting. Probably throw a few top 10s on them anyway. So if one of them finished inside the top 10, then you're looking like you can probably make your money back, but also you can end up losing a lot of money by doing that. So anyway, happy middle of June. Let's enjoy the Travelers Championship. Let's make sure that our team doesn't make us drink too much, because this shirt was given to me like 2 years ago. The Jets make me want to drink. Now we've got Aaron Rodgers. Now we've got one of the best defenses in the league. Now we've got Robert Saleh. Things can change quickly. You just got to trust the process. You never freaking know. So that being said, we're going to trust the process. We're going to keep doing our thing. Maybe Max brings it home for us. Maybe Sahith brings it home for us. Maybe Hubbard brings it home. We'll see. Maybe all of those guys in the lineup take it home for us in a DFS contest. We will see what happens. But wishing you a happy Travelers. Catch you guys next week. It's going to be a fun one. I'll be at the John Deere Classic in 2 weeks' time, I think. 3 weeks' time. It's going to be a fun one. And until then, we'll catch